Patriots, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. I do believe this video is number 151, if my memory serves me right. So, 151 videos for your viewing as you desire on numerous topics from preparedness, many levels of preparedness and canning and different topics. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you following the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. And for all you new folks, we do have a hopeforsurvival.com webpage where we post a weekly newsletter on various topics and preparedness and some thoughts and other news. You can visit again at hopeforsurvival.com. You can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com if you'd like to get on our mailing list. I'd be happy to add you into the notifications. So this video titled "Close the Border." I stopped at a rest area a few moments ago and saw a headline news article stating that Uncle Joe has stated that he wants to close the border. I think it should probably be close the border ... and fund Ukraine. I do believe Speaker of the House Johnson had earlier in the week stated no border closure, no funding. So I find it rather interesting that our government has allowed several million individuals to cross our border and flood our communities around America with basically illegal aliens, unvetted, without medical checks, and they're flooding into our country. I've also recently read reports of several cases in communities of groups of these individuals beating up, mugging civilians, and also in one case I believe it was a police officer. I think maybe New York, I'm not sure. But I find it rather interesting as to, after 3 years, why all of a sudden close the border when this doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars that we don't have. And in some cases, they could basically just enforce existing laws to curb the number of flowing in drastically. So as I said in previous videos, why after these years is Governor Abbott now wanting to enforce closing the border against the feds, and now the feds saying close the border. One has to really stop and think, what is the underlying reason to the Fed position? It's not because of the state's response. It's not because of 25 plus state governors supporting Governor Abbott. And it's not because states are sending their own National Guard to Texas to support Governor Abbott. It's not because there's a caravan of truckers headed to the border Tell me one case in the last 3 years where civilian opposition to something the government was doing swayed the government's position to do one thing or the other. They basically ignored the outcry of the civilian American position on this topic. So why do you think this is the case now? Personally, I believe it is all because of the president is trying to strike a deal to get more funding to send to Ukraine for the bottomless bank in this so-called war with Russia. It's pretty clear to anyone who does some research, it's pretty clear that the United States position is that the United States and NATO wants war with Russia. So, the fact that in the coming weeks there's going to be a major multi-nation military exercise with 90,000 troops and lots of armament and air power going to be conducting this exercise in Europe right outside of Ukraine and Eastern Europe. There's also another hot spot that's not in the news that's heating up the last several weeks, and that's in the Balkan states. Tensions and fighting amongst factions continues to increase. So is there a possibility the United States would deal with the Ukraine situation and the Balkan states simultaneously, which would require more money? I've heard some opinions stating that you're going to see numerous countries spending the equivalent of US dollars, trillions of dollars on defense over the next year to 3 years because of the projection that the entire globe will be at war in 36 months. I don't know what they're basing this on. It's something that I've read. So, time will tell if this is the case, but it's something we all should be watching to see if it pans out. But if it turns out that the United States goes forth to close the border and fund millions of dollars to Ukraine to pad the coffers of our politicians and others, the American taxpayers should be demanding accountability of their elected officials. Because enough is enough. We can't afford it. We don't want more wars. We don't want new wars. Our military is depleted. Our equipment is depleted. Our economy is not in good health. We have so many domestic problems that need to be dealt with as a nation. That spending billions of dollars on endless wars and added wars is not in the best interest of our country unless it is to defend our own borders, which we're not doing. So I do believe the time for demanding accountability from both parties is past. It's something that we should have been doing already. There has to be some level of accountability, and to this point there has not been. Politicians act like they're doing investigations, and they act like they're holding others accountable for actions. Just look at Benghazi if you want the true picture. So we continue to catch our government and other governments involved in Ukraine and the Israel conflict in the Middle East in lies. Truths come out. A good example is the former ISIS base in the Middle East. It may have been in Doha, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was Doha. That housed over 100,000 ISIS. That is near, I think, Jordan, maybe. It was a ISIS base that had over 100,000 ISIS members on the base, and it is currently being occupied by the United States and Great Britain. The problem is, to this point, they've denied it, knowing that the base even existed. So I get all the things with classified and keeping things hush-hush for operational security. I get all that, and I support it because it protects the troops. But there comes a point where someone needs to step to the podium and be truthful to the American people who are paying the taxes and paying the bills. If someone were just honest, there's a higher possibility of people supporting things that the government's doing. Not guaranteed, but there's a better possibility than when they stand at the podium and straight out lie to us. So anyway, keep your eyes and ears open. Bet you're going to hear close the border and fund Ukraine. So if you like this video, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, same story. Reach up, hit the bell, subscribe, leave your comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm going to continue this journey across Tennessee so I can get home. Hopefully by dark, maybe. So it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day here in central Tennessee. About 48 degrees, sun shining, and the highways are packed. Lots of people moving, lots of semis moving up and down the highways, going in both directions. So take care, keep your head on a swivel, be safe, be blessed, and as always, don't forget to give thanks. We're blessed people. Oh, before I close, I want to give a shout out to our Patriot brother out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who has been enduring some health issues. Brother, take care of yourself. Get it taken care of. Hopefully you can get some answers soon.